Welcome back to the Desert Borealis Knitting Podcast. Today is episode 9. It's November 13th, 2025, and I am ready to share with you all the progress that I've had with my knitting over the past week. And what a week it has been. So let's just get right into it, okay? My name is Tasha, and I'm the wife, mother, dyer, designer, knitter, creator behind all things Desert Borealis. Thank you for being here. I have some new subscribers, and I would just like to say thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed yet, but you are enjoying the content on this channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. There are going to be a few tutorials that will be released within the next couple of weeks. And that's about it, I think. So I think I'm most active here on YouTube. Instagram is a bit much for me. I do have my handle over on Instagram, Desert Borealis, but I'm not really active over there. And you can also find me on Ravelry as Desert Borealis. So I think that's it. I'm a little flustered, I guess you could say, today. I taught my professional skills class today, and my heart was pounding so much the whole time I was doing it, and I just wanted to sit down and film this podcast because as soon as this podcast is over, I am switching into hibernation mode, and hopefully I can just zone out for a little bit and regain my composure. It went well. Teaching the class went well. There was no technical difficulties or anything like that, but I just tend to work myself up a lot and create a lot of anxiety for myself on the path to whatever project that I have going, I guess. I don't know. I just realized I was still wearing my blue light glasses, so we'll take those off. And we will start with works in progress because that's the only thing I have to share. I've probably said that like 12 times already, but bear with me. The first thing that I would like to talk about are my orange socks. They're not mine. I'm making them as a Christmas present, but these are being made with Opal Funny Fruit yarn. The colorway is 11414, and it is it's the orange colorway. And I am doing a contrast heel, toe, and cuff. So here's the Opal colorway. It's got oranges, yellows, and I am using yellow Cascade Heritage in lemon for heels, toes, and cuffs, partly because the person I am making these for is my son, and I cannot make a full pair of socks with only 100 grams due to his foot length and how big he wants the leg. So this week I was able to finish the first sock. Do you know what? Let me not so quietly grab a blocker. Just slide that puppy on. Slide it on. Get the heel in the right spot. Doop, doop, doop. Okay, and here it is. It's funny because it still doesn't even fit on this blocker very well, but it looks a lot better now. So for his socks, I do 80 stitches, 2x2 ribbing for 20 rounds, then an 80 round leg slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset, and then 60 rounds for the foot after the gusset stitches, and then I do the toe shaping. So I've been working on this while my daughter and I walk in the mornings on our treadmills, and so I was able to finish this one. That being said, I also started the second one. And these are knit on ChiaoGoo size to 2.75 millimeters. I am a very tight knitter, and so this is what I have to do to get the size that he likes, that I like. So size 2s are my go-to, and I do work them in Magic Loop. So I will continue to work on these. Like I said, these are a Christmas present. I do count my rows using light bulb stitch markers. So as you can see, I haven't taken any off, and I've barely switched to the color over here. My lighting's a little weird today because it's a lot later than I normally film, but woo, I'm just saying all the weird stuff today. Anyways, this isn't really, Opal is usually known for self-striping, and this isn't really self-striping, but I mean, you do see these like zigzags, which are pretty cool, and then, not gonna be able to see it. Ugh. Okay, you're not gonna be able to see it, but the patterning of the orange actually makes it look like a giraffe with a tube around its neck, like an inner tube that you'd float down the river with. So I'm calling these his giraffe socks. Anyways, that is the first project that I have worked on this week, and I did make a lot of progress on this because I think last week, maybe, I was just done with the gusset stitches, so I was able to finish the foot and the toe and start on the cuff. For those of you just joining, not only am I knitting, but I also decided that it would be a good idea to go back to school. So I also have classes and assignments that I'm trying to juggle with my knitting and with homeschooling my 2 teens. So I'm getting my bearings, I'm getting my feet under me, I'm getting used to all of it. So some weeks there's less progress than other weeks, but I feel like this week was actually a pretty good week for progress all around because I was able to finish up my presentation and practice it a few times before my class, and I'm actually a couple of weeks ahead on all my personal assignments, so I made some time to knit. Now, this next project that I'm talking about is my husband's Mick Aston look-alike sweater. If you guys don't know who Mick Aston is, he was a British archaeologist, and he was on the TV series, he was on the TV series Time Team back in the 90s. He has passed away, but my husband, as always, loved all of his colorful sweaters. This is a project that I have been working on for my husband for the past 2 years, and I'm really hoping to get it done before December so that I can work on an Advent project that I want to work on, and just so that he can finally have his Christmas gift from 2023. So, without further ado, this is his sleeve. This is where I was last week when I recorded, and I was able to add, let's see, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Been able to add 6 stripes on this sleeve. I am working these sleeves tandem. These are ChiaoGoo circular 16-inch US size 2, 2.75, and I was here last week, and on this one I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's about right there. So how I'm doing this is, this one is the first one to get worked on, the color stripe and the increases that it needs. And then once I'm done with that color, I cut the yarn, add 1 row of the new color, then add the next stripe onto this one. That's what I'm trying to say. There are supposed to be 38 stripes in the whole sleeve, And this is a drop shoulder sweater. I'm just making this up as I go. I am using Ann Budd's book sweater patterns. You know what? I'm not sure what the name of it is. Sweater patterns every sweater patterns that ever, I don't know. It's by Ann Budd. It's one of her books that just has a lot of numbers. So you put your gauge, you find your gauge and then the size you want, and it tells you what to do. So drop sleeve sweater. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I only have like 21 more stripes to go before I can add it to the body. The body is already finished, thank heavens. So after the sleeves, attaching the sleeves to the sweater, I only have the collar to do. I am hoping to get this done, well, I was hoping to get it done before Thanksgiving. However, I think I've mentioned in my last podcast that I have been approached by TKGA to submit my pillow design for publication on their new knitting platform. That being said, I have had to cast on something new so that I can provide video tutorials on some of the more complicated parts of my pillow. Now, I didn't want to completely make a brand new pillow because my pillow is it's knit to 16 by 16, but the finished measurements are 18 by 18 because knitting stretches. So what I've opted to do for those more technical parts and for the tutorials that need to be included on the pattern before I can submit it is I've decided to cut the stitch count in half. So I'm making it so that knit up, it's going to be an 8 by 8 pillow, but it will stretch to be a 9 by 9 pillow. That's the hope anyways. Oh, that's where you went. Okay. So I cast on, like I said, a mini version, and this is how far I have gotten. If you guys would like to see the full-size pillow, you can look back in my other videos. But we start with a provisional cast on, and then we move right in, and now I'm at the point where we're going to use a horizontal stitch and then continue to make the front of the pillow. This is using 3 colors of Cascade 220 non-superwash in worsted weight, and I am using Bristol Blue, Natural, and Aqua Haze. That being said, I need to make this smaller. This is the first project that really needs to take precedence, and so hopefully I can get all of this done before Thanksgiving weekend so then I can really work on my husband's sweater. That's what I'm really hoping for and pushing for. But that is all I have for you guys today. It's a rather short episode, but I hope you enjoyed catching up with me, and let me know down in the comments what you've been knitting on this week. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Bye!